Hey, how's it going, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Another evening of the Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing Special. This is in lieu of our regular weekly meetings at the St. Cloud VA Hospital. We've been doing this since the coronavirus has rolled its wave over the Great Plains. So here we are once again. Let's go ahead and get this pulled up. And there we are. Wednesdays, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock during mandatory social distancing. That's where we are. I am here and you are there. Safe and secure. Hopefully, you're not out on the road driving. I do know somebody that used to watched YouTube videos and junk while he was driving. So, if you're out on the road, be careful. So, yeah, I gave myself an exact amount of time of maybe 4 minutes to prepare for tonight. I got home from fishing this morning, and what did I do? Ate some lunch, relaxed, and I got into watching, what were we watching? Back to the Future 2. We got about 20 minutes left into it. I know how it ends, so don't worry about spoilers. But yeah, I was like, oh no, I gotta get ready for my live stream. And I knew what I wanted to tie, which was the Chernobyl ant. I think that was on my list. I'm looking for my pieces of paper. There we are. Here we are. We're good. Alright, so we did the Zug Bug. We did a Crawdad. We did a Gurgler. We're on to the Chernobyl ant. So I knew what I wanted to tie. I didn't get a chance to even really pre-tie any. So this is going to be a good old Chernobyl ant variation, kind of how I tie it, I suppose. Or more specifically, this is how I'm tying them tonight. I didn't have any time to search for hooks or anything like that, so as they say in the biz, we're gonna wing it. So, how we doing tonight? Well, let's see who we got. We got Josh Anderson in the house. I'm gonna reach for my water. Josh Anderson in the house. Good evening. Who else do we got? Me, myself, and I. I count for three. I guess that makes four. Water today. Got dehydrated. Felt a little dehydrated. So let's not waste any time. We're already 3 minutes, 4 minutes in. If you're tardy for the party, I feel sorry for you, bub. But here we are. Let's slide over to the bench and switch the camera over. All right, so there we go. This is going to be, unless I just come across the right hook right now. No. Otherwise, this is going to be a supersized Chernobyl ant. It's going to be huge. But what do I like to fish for? I like to fish for big fish. And although you don't need big flies to catch big fish, usually big flies keep the small fish off. So, oh boy, I know. It's really not the right hook. You'll have to just go ahead and Google up Chernobyl ant, and you'll see a million other variations and varieties of this. So, you know what? I'm going to use this specialty hook here. I'm going to use this. I'll pick up in a big size too. Like I said, I'm going for big fish here. Anyways. So we got foam. It's a foam fly, foam ant. We're going to cut some strips. And one of the things that we know as kind of a rule of thumb is we kind of want to keep our the width no wider than the gap of the hook. So we're going to cut ourselves a couple of strips. Big enough for our size 2. And we'll see how this turns out. I'm just going to hit it with, I got some just plain Jane red shears. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit more scientific about this. I'm going to use a straight edge and a razor blade. So unfortunately, I didn't get much time to prepare for this, but here we are nonetheless. We got 2 hours to tie flies. We can chit-chat. Don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. In fact, I encourage it. Because we're not able to see each other face to face. The least we can do is say hi in the chat. So, alright. Too easy. Set that off to the side. Alright, so here's my 2 strips. I guess that didn't quite get cut exactly perfect, but what do I know about cutting things at it exactly perfect? But it's kind of a big fly. So, in fact, I'm just going to trim it to size right away. So I guess you could take a hook gap, and I'm just going to eyeball this right at about there. Now, the first time I fished a Chernobyl ant, I don't think I tied one prior to fishing one. And it was in the, I believe it was the Soda Butte, I believe. I don't know exactly what body of water it was, but it was in the Yellowstone National Park, and my father and I were walking towards the water. We came across the anglers that were just getting off of the water, and that's what they suggested. And they said, "Do you guys have any?" And we said, "No, I don't." So they hooked us up. Alright, I'm using a size 2 hook. I'm using, what is it, 2 or 4 millimeter craft foam. I lost my calipers. Not super paper thin. It's the same size of foam as our gurglers that we tied the other day. And you know what, just for giggles and grins, because I like tying with thicker thread, especially when I'm tying with foam. And I'm on the fence. Do I go with chartreuse or do I go red? I'm going to go with a chartreuse, at least to start. So I'm going to start up front. I'm going to lay a little thread base. Because who doesn't like a little chartreuse in their fly? We'll take this all the way to the back. Alright, we're going to start with our tan. Set that right on top. A couple of soft wraps. Just enough to capture it. Just like that gurgler head up front. Okay, so we got our first one. And now we're going to take our black. Let's get that on. Alright, I'm going to pause there because, look out, Frank, we're throwing some rubber legs on this. But fear not, Frank, if you're watching with us tonight, we'll get through this. One rubber leg at a time. Alright. So I got my rubber leg. I'm going to take both of these at the same time. Watch this, I'm going to set them right on top. Get one turn on it. Let's get that pulled over to the side. And we'll get this one pulled over to this far side. And everything's going to want to twist and slide, but we'll lock this in nice and tight. Alright, I'm going to get a couple of wraps just around the shank of the hook. I'm going to advance forward just a little bit, and I'm going to secure the tan only. Alright, I'm going to advance my thread a little bit forward. Oh wait, I forgot. We're untying. Before we do our advance forward, we got to add one more little bit. So we'll get our thread kind of reset back in between those legs, all the way on that back end. See, one of the things that's pretty neat about the Chernobyl is it's like a double, it's got a double indicator. So like we did before, maybe with the beetles, with our foam beetles, we can just take our little piece of foam. We're going to go right there on top. There we go. Now we can advance our thread forward. And capture just the tan. Advance my thread. And capture just the tan. Advance my thread forward, and I'm going to park this just behind the eye of the hook. Go ahead and get a turn or two around just the tan, and then take a wrap around just the shank. And we're going to lay this black piece down on top. Alright, now we're going to grab our legs again. Not these ones, but the other ones. Who do we got? Jerry Dooley. Welcome, Jerry. Message redacted. That's all I can see on my end. Alright, let's go ahead and add our rubber legs. Or we can just set them on there just to hold it. And take this side, bring it over here. Take this side, bring it over there. Alright, another bit of foam. Where did I set my little foam bits? Hello, Texas. Alright, alright. Well, greetings, Texas, from Minnesota. This will work. That seems a little thick. I'm digging through my little, I've got all sorts of little bags of foam scraps and this and that. So I got a yellow back end. I think we'll just go with the green front end. So I've got my leftover strips from my gurglers. This is a big O size 2. I'm going to trim you back just a little bit. And the only reason why I'm doing two-tone indicators is, I don't know, that way you can see which way your fly is aiming. I don't know. It's up to you. This is a general concept presentation. It's up to you to make it your own. All right. Add a little whip finish under that. And they do make kits, little cookie cutters almost, that make Chernobyl bodies. And I've actually thought about getting that sometime soon. Just because I had so much fun fishing these Chernobyls out in Montana. I'm gonna even up these legs just a little bit. They don't want to be too long, but it's kind of the allure of this pattern of these nice legs just kind of swimming out there, giving it some action. So that's basically it. What we could do is add a little bit of, I don't have any Zappa Gap, not handy. We'll see if this crazy glue comes out or if it's just locked. Yeah, it's done. You're toast. I need a longer needle to get into that. Let's go with, it's on there pretty good. Oh, I think I know what I want to do for my next little modification. But I do like tying with the 210 denier thread with the foam. If you go with a thinner diameter thread, you do run the risk of cutting into it. So, anywho. So yeah, that's going to be our first one of the evening. Let's see here, looks like we got some more joining us. We're up to 7. Good evening, all. Thank you for joining. Another evening of fly tying in support of the St. Cloud program, Project Healing Waters. For more information, visit projecthealingwaters.org. I suppose if you wanted, you could glue that all down, but I honestly, I don't know, maybe I'm just feeling lazy, but we're going to do another one. These are not very long, complicated ties, but you do want to keep them proportionate to itself. You can scale this way down, but you do want a longer shanked hook. I'm not sure what the dimensions on this shank hook would be, but I don't know. It looks bassy to me. You know what we could do? I like the chartreuse, but as much as I like the chartreuse, I also like red. And I think that's a 210 as well. So I'm going to swap thread to a 210 red. Same thread. 210 denier flat wax. Little thread base gives all that something to stick on to. Let's work our way to the rear. And I had a little bonus I was going to tie into this one. Just because, why not? See, what's nice is when I label these videos, these live streams, if you haven't noticed, I just started labeling everything as a variation. Because ultimately, in the end, it's what a lot of this comes out to be. And that's fine with me, because I'm having fun. Who remembers this red yarn? I do. I'm going to tie this in just a little bit. I just want a little bit, just a little red tag end. Bada boom, bada bing. Alright, let's go ahead and measure this out again. Again, I didn't cut my foam. It's not 1000% perfect. I got just a, there's just some discrepancies in there, but, I think my fish will like it. Looks good. So just a little red tag in. That's gonna untwist and do its thing, but I don't know. I think it'll be fine. So we'll do one soft wrap to capture it. And listen, guys and gals, don't add a butt ton of tension on there right away, because you will, I repeat, you will cut that thread, or that thread will cut that foam. Okay, we'll add our black on top. 1, 2, 3. And remember, if we just take a wrap or two just around the shank of the hook, that's going to minimize our rotation, or the way it rotates. Alright, we'll grab our little dab of yellow. So that's what I did before. I just remembered. Let's get some legs on here. Iowa in the house. Good evening, Iowa. Dale Sanders. How's it going, buddy? So tonight we are tying some ginormous Chernobyl variation. Basic Chernobyls. It's a basic Chernobyl ant, but we're tying them in a size 2. And we're tying them on a popper hook. And the methodology, so what I did about 5 minutes before this live stream, I went, oh no, I gotta tie I got a live stream here in just a few minutes. Oh no, what am I gonna tie? The Chernobyl ant. I didn't prepare for it too much. And the first things you have to find are the hooks. And that was a fail. So I started looking around. Alright, I'm going to advance my thread forward. I'll stop talking. Advance my thread forward just a little bit. And I'm going to tuck down and take a wrap around just the tan. Alright, a couple soft wraps to capture it. A little bit tighter. And then we'll advance our thread forward again. Let's do that again. And this will give it a little bit of a segmented shadow. Alright. And our last one, we'll bump this forward. One, two. Again, I'm going to just take a couple of wraps around the shank. And not twist it too hard. Oh yeah, I wanted to get my legs on. So, who's caught a fish recently? Who's wishing and who's fishing? What did we have? Today's what, the 14th? Holy smokes, no, today's not the 14th. It's the 15th. These weeks, these days, they're all starting to run together and become the same. Anybody else having that problem? Who else doesn't know what day of the week it is much anymore? It can be difficult. But I got a watch. I got a watch that has the date on it. Because if you get in the Netflix and junk like that, you don't necessarily focus in on certain days because you're not necessarily dependent on a certain day for a certain show. So those days are long gone for me, waiting for my show to drop on broadcast television. Let's finish this with a whip finish. That's going to be it. Be careful not to trim your legs off. Oh yeah, Andreas is from the future. That's right. Good morning, Andreas. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. All the way from Germany. So this has got some little bit of a... I like this. And this is a fly, you just get it onto the water and let it slide in the current. Just let it float. Give it a couple, just some light twitches. We're not stripping this hard and heavy. This is a nice and easy. Just let it ride in the current. And I think I actually might be able to get a little bit of this Zap-A-Gap, not Zap-A-Gap, but there's just a glue in here. It's just a matter of getting to the... Nope, that's not happening. Alright, so because my super glue is dry... Oh, let me check a second spot. Because I'm going to want to sneak out and fish this. We're down to the reserves here. Alright. Oh, this is a gel. Aww. Gel. Alright. Well, we'll cross our fingers. It's not going to necessarily come apart or anything, but I'm just going to just slop some of this head cement here. I'm going to throw a little bit of secret sauce in here. And this is just head cement. Secret sauce, Sally Hansen's, our good friend. A little bit of insurance policy in there. Better than nothing, right? So there we go. And that's it. That's a basic kind of a Chernobyl ant variation. You know, the basic concept is a two-tone foam suppose if we wanted, I've seen some that kind of round their corners off. But, you know, I guess it's kind of up to you. What do you think? Alright, let's go ahead and switch the camera over and have a sip of water. So there we go. We got 1, 2 of these Chernobyl ant variations knocked out. Yeah. There's like an Amy's ant. I mean, there's all sorts of little twists you can put on these. Bigger wings, you can add wings. You cannot add wings. It all depends. It's all up to how much or how little you want to throw into this fly. So 1, 2. This is one of those patterns, though. If you're not careful, you can tie a whole bunch of them real quick. This is a mug from a trip. Here we go. That's my brother, the bearded wonder, on the other side. But anyways, how we doing? Let's do a quick shout out to the last fish you caught. It doesn't matter if it was last week, yesterday, last month. I don't know. What'd you catch? Let's hear a tall tale. Who's got a tall tale to tell? A tall tale to tell. I don't know. I'm going to tie another fly. No kidding, there I was. So the river level was today on the Mississippi was all right. We got on, and it wasn't too deep. And the fish were not where I left them. Go figure. I did not have a hit, a bump, a bite, a nibble, and not a nothing. I spent a few hours flogging the water. But that's all right. Ultimately in the end, it's all right. It's all good. All right, Andreas caught himself a chub. Awesome. What kind of chub? I think I got a Goldie. Is it Goldie? What I'm thinking, my U.S. guy is a Goldie. Is that a chub? Not sure. Let's go ahead and lay a little thread base. I kind of liked. I think I'm going to do another chartreuse. I'm going to go back to the chartreuse. We're going to alternate, I guess. 210. And you know what? Maybe what I could do this time is I can add a little dab of glue as I lay the foam down. I did want to add this little bit of red again. Just a little bit of red. I don't know why, but I want to do it. Doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to be too crazy. Alright, we got our black and our tan. Don't ask me why they just didn't call this a black and tan. Let's go right about there. Oh wow, Josh got a turtle, or not Josh, Jerry. Jerry got a turtle this morning, and it was a nice one. You know what they say, when you catch a turtle, make soup. Alright. Da-da-da-da-da. And let's go with the tan. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the trim. And wash, rinse, and repeat. You know, I think I will pick up those Chernobyl cutters. Add to the inventory of foam propaganda. Yeah, buddy. One soft wrap to capture it. Increase the tension a little bit. We get our legs. We just set them both on top. Go 1, 2. Slide these ones over to this side. And we'll slide these ones over to this side. That's nice. A little indicator. I'll let it slide off. Okay, now this is where I was going to add a little dab of head cement. I don't have any glue. I guess I could add a little drop of gel control, but this will suffice. We'll get by. Advance the thread forward. Maybe a little bit more forward. Perfect. And wouldn't you know, we're back to the legs. fluck off because I'm getting down to the nitty gritty. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. A little bit of an indicator. Beautiful. Finish this off with a quick whip finish. And that's going to be it. Oh, no, you don't. Giving up these legs. There we go. Get that in the water. Do that little splash. Little twitch. I'll bring this indicator down just a little bit. Okay, so we got a question. I've started adding spots of red to my flies, just like that yarn. Is it just wishing on my part, or does it help? Well, this is the thing. I added it. And I'm going to pop this off of the camera stand real quick. I'm going to show you something else. Sorry if everybody got sick. There we go. Black Zulu, red tag. Blue Zulu, red tag. The Soldier Palmer, red tag. The Bloody Butcher, red tag. The Blaine Black, it's got some red in there. I absolutely think it should almost be mandatory to add splashes of red. Oops, sorry. You know what I gotta do? Hold on. That way y'all don't get sick while I'm trying to get my camera back into the bracket. Sorry about that bumpy ride, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Alright, we'll get that line back up. So, hey. Yeah, a little bit of red. I like adding... Okay, so this is... And like you said, you know, does it really help or is it just wishful thinking? Who knows? But these are some magic ingredients in flies that I think hold magic. All right, little bits of red. All right, whether it's just a little bit of thread or a yarn or a red crystal flash. Right, little hints of red in there. Doesn't have to be 2 bananas. I like to throw peacock. I like to throw flash and things in general. But it's keeping it sparse. If you've ever watched any of my videos, if you've seen anything, if you've learned anything, if you don't learn anything else, just please remember this. Sparse is nice. Less is more or less. But no, keep it simple, keep it clean, and keep it proportionate to the hook. Then you can't go wrong. And have fun. That's kind of up there on things that are important to me, at least. So, what else do we got? Questions, comments? I'm here to help you guys. Trust me, I would rather be out fishing right now. Tell you that for free. Although we didn't have anything on the end of the line this morning. But we need to start thinking about what we want to tie next week. I'm thinking, I have no idea. Should it be a surprise? Should it be something random? I don't know. I've got lots of stuff to sort through and this and that, and maybe we should go back and revisit the clouser. When I did the clouser last, did we tie the fire tigers, or did we just do regular clousers? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to throw some of these in my box, because I was minimal on things that are chartreuse. Oh, I don't know. What else we got going on? Just waiting for something to come up on the chat. Maybe we'll just continue on tying. Let's see. Let's hop over. We'll get back over and do that. Looking for the hooks. Where did they go? Say we do a few more of these. There we go. So these are Daiichi's 2720s. Look at catch more fish. Sounds good to me, right? I like catching fish. Alright. So we are done with our black and tan. What other colors do we got hanging out? Oh, this will be perfect. This will be it. Let's do a chartreuse, hot neon chartreuse and black. Go ahead and what I'm doing, you know what, let me set the camera off to the side and I'll just show you how I cut these. Because this is a quick, easy way to measure and cut. Alright, we'll park the camera like that real quick. Alright, I'm adjusting the cameras, and I don't want you guys to throw up while the camera is shaking around. So we're going to switch back over to there. Got Samuel in the house. What's up? Better late than never. You betcha. Alright, so this is kind of a quick, easy way to cut this. Right, super simple. And I have to watch what I'm doing and not try to look through the camera. Alright, so I'll set my foam down. And I know I want my foam to be, the width of my foam to be a hook scap. So there it is. Eyeballed. Hook scap. Super simple. Line it up. Take your straight edge and your razor blade. Just like that. That's one strip. And we'll wash, rinse, and repeat. And the beautiful part is on the second one, just line up your piece of foam. And there it is. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. You know, we want things to be close and precise, but sometimes, I mean, there's no sense of fighting over fractions of millimeters. So there we go. Now we got our two pieces of foam, pretty darn close to even in length or width, and it's pretty darn close to our hook scap. So there's that. We're going to switch our camera back over to this one. I'm going to disappear and get the other camera back onto the hook. I think that's close enough. And then we can switch back. I need a production manager. Holy crap. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. Alright. No kidding, there we were. In fact, what we can do, we're going to start our thread. No big deal. Previously, we've been tying with some yarn, and I'm not going to bother with that on this one. Just going to go straight for it. Same as before. I'm just going to do a slight taper. Just knock those corners off. I'm being brave enough to do both at the same time. There we go. It's almost like a little skateboard. too cool, huh? Alright, we'll line it up. Couple of wraps just around the shank. That'll help prevent it from spinning out too far. So are we all done with fireworks? Are we still shooting them? Or are we done? Because me personally, I'm done with them. Been done with them for a while. You know, I guess for me, it's just the lack of consideration for others in your community. I mean, yeah, fireworks. Most of us like them. Some of us enjoy them. But when it's the week after 4th of July weekend, and you got people shooting off just random 1 or 2 fireworks, like 10:30, midnight, 11 o'clock, sometimes 1 in the morning. I get it. People are like, but we like fireworks. We got a thing about it. You know, it's whatever. I guess I'm getting old. Get off my lawn, you punk kids. Just like that. We'll advance forward. And if you so chose, you could easily take a dubbing of sorts, and you could lay a little dubbing underneath. Here we go, and my legs. You know what I forgot to do way back there? I forgot my little indicator. Hot dog. Well, we're going to tie this just a little bit different than anyways. Yeah, so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. Fireworks equals grass fire here. It's not worth it. I mean, what happened? I mean, I remember growing up and fireworks was a cool big thing. Now it's all just... Alright, I got just a little bit of flash. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to go right to it. This little piece of chartreuse bucktail. Hopefully this will get us some flare. Yeah, buddy. Cut off a little bucktail. You see what happened is I forgot to put the indicator in back, and I have to compensate for it, me mentally. So I'm going to add a big old wing to it. Little bucktail wing. Clean that out. And what I like to do is a pinch and twist. Give it a little twist. That helps free that all up. And if you got big money, that's a whole $1 right there. Eyebrow, or it just says brow, comb, and brush. Too easy. We'll run this into the hair stacker, why not? Tips down. Not going to spend all day wrapping on it. Yeah, why not? Nice big old wing. Ooh, and I got some flair on that too. Yeah, buddy. We'll trim that here in a second. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2. Uh-oh. I know it looks like a hot mess. Look. I need a secret tool. My secret weapon. It's a hair clip. Would you imagine that? Oh, let's go ahead and trim this down right about there. That'll work. All right. Boy, I kind of like that. Yeah, I definitely need to get some super glue. Some Zap-A-Gap or something to secure all these down. They will start twisting on me. NC Doc is in the house. Good evening. Oh yeah, it'll fish faux show. And it's a size too, so if that doesn't catch a big old fish, I don't know what will. So there we have it. What we should do is I should just take a quick pause for the cause and go get some water, because I'm always spilling stuff. Not spilling stuff, but putting stuff into my cups when I'm tying flies. It's crazy. But then again, I have a trash can is the same size as a coffee mug. I have another coffee mug I use for scraps, like scrap hackles and stuff like that. So it's no surprise that I eat a little fly tying material or drink a little from time to time. It's okay. We'll get by. All right, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. Stand by. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from our break. That pause for the cause has come to its conclusion. Here I am, and there you are. We're all here because we're not all there, I'll tell you that for free. Anyways. So if there's any high rollers out there that are looking to make some donations, Aaron needs a new set of headphones that have a microphone. Just planting that seed out there. Anyways, let's tie some more flies. I like the chartreuse. I don't know if I like that wing or not. Not 100% sold on it. But it's going to go in the fly box. Irregardless. No. I don't know what that's all about. I never thought irregardless was a word. What do you think? The English language is so sideways, so backwards. I don't know. So we were talking to some of my buddies, and we were talking about moving forward and this and that. And my buddies are from the entertainment industry. And what they do is they set up the concerts and the Broadway shows and the film. They also work in film. All those TV shows you binge watched. Well, you're going to have to go back to those because there's not going to be much more coming out here in the future. They're going to get to a point where they're going to have to figure something out quick, fast, and in a hurry. Chartreuse and black. How long is this? So the overall hook is like what, 1 1/4. I cut that about 1.5 inches. We wanted to trim off the angles, or trim off the corners rather. See, this is why you need a cutter. That'll work. A little bit too much like a crayon tip. Just want to knock the corners off. Good enough. Alright, here we go. Why I haven't been just wrapping it that way, because that is the same thing as wrapping it this way. Get a little bite on it. Get my strings, but my legs. it's got a little more chartreuse, a little more green in there. Little flat flutter legs. I suppose you could use a round rubber leg. It's up to you. So much you can do with this good old Chernobyl ant. It's big. This one is size 2. I mean, I guess they get down to like size 10s, 14s. I guess. But here we're tying them big. Big fly country. We tie big flies. I guarantee you, anything that smashes the surface of the water jumps out for this. That's gonna be a fun fight. Tell you that for free. Why not? That's our thread forward. I wanted to add a little dab of some secret sauce. Because I don't have any Zap-A-Gap on me, I'm gonna have to go find some somewhere. I think I know where I got some. The secret stash. And then I can glue all these down together. And that's the thing, if you're tying a small batch of flies, it would behoove you sometimes to kind of go into production mode and just tie certain steps along the way. Save things for batches towards the end. Too easy, right? So what did we decide on? What do we want to tie next week? What's the plan? We got 9 or so people, which is 9, 8, I think 7. Because I know I'm one. I can't count myself. I could, but what's the point? What are we going to tie next week? Any suggestions? Oh, that leg is dead. I might be able to save it. Yeah, we'll save it. I think next week I'm going to tie with more foam. By default, if we can't really think of anything too crazy, we're going to tie some more grasshoppers. But these are going to be the Tom Sue's hoppers. What? Okay, I don't understand. And us in the kit, the form. I don't know what that means. Oh, I thought it was the clouser. Well, I don't remember. Do we want to tie clousers again? We definitely can. But I figured since we're just kind of continuing on, I mean, I think clousers was one of the first flies we tied in this series. I'll have to go back and double check the, what do you call it, the playlist. And see if it's on there. It might be. I know we did the clouser, but we've done hoppers. We've done poppers. We've done panfish flies. We've done fly of the days, woolly buggers, creelixes, hippies, patriots, matukas, and then we did the whole 20 flies for the hairline dubbing kit. So if I sound like I'm struggling, it's because I am. Going into overtime on this. Because to be honest, in March and we all went home, and I said, fear not, we're going to be doing this for a while. I don't know. I don't think I was expecting it to go this long. I like this chartreuse. It's hot. A cased caddis. You know what that does? It means I gotta get a piece of paper. Let's go and hop this. Alright. Now, when you say cased caddis, are we talking like the little ones crawling out of the rocks? Because I got some different ideas on some different cased caddis. What else? Hoppers, crickets. I'm going to do a hopper next week. I'm going to do Tom Sue's hoppers. Because I know I have some of those kits somewhere. I'll have to dig them out. And I'll show you the Tom Sue's hopper before we get done with this. And it's a kit that it's from River Road Creations. I believe is the company that makes the punches. And it's like a cookie cutter, and I take my little foam and I sit there and I just pop that all out. So we're gonna do it's a fun one. And I know I can do that because I just found some gel control super glue, which isn't that good for the application like I have right now, where I want to just drip a little super glue onto the thread, onto the bellies. And honestly, I really don't know how well a UV light would resin get in there. Yeah, it gets on there and it stiffens up, but I just don't think that's the proper application. What do we got? The hydro like HYDRO. I'm not a fan of the stimulators. They're a good fly, but I don't know. Seems like a lot of work. We fish for bass around here. bass, pike, panfish, sunnies and junk. And that in my stimulator game isn't too good for a instructional purposes. Ooh, muddler minnows. I don't think we had. I was fishing a muddler today. Muddler, minnow. But we could do a mouse. Josh Anderson tied a mouse the other day. Just the other day. It was a pretty good mouse. Pretty darn good looking mouse. He even had the pink little ears. That's what I liked about it. It's the details. Sometimes I don't care if I'm an inch or 2 inches or a quarter inch off. The foam can be exact. It cannot be exact. But if you throw the love of the details in there, like throwing the eyes and throwing the ears and the whiskers, hey, what's there not to like? Is it needed? Absolutely not, man. Because at that point, if you're mousing, I don't think it really matters. Oh, we were going to look at the Master Splinter. Master Splinter mouse. What else? We'll take in a couple more suggestions to carry us for a few more weeks. I'm going to star the muddler. Oh yeah, S-Y-C-H-E. There we go. Alright, we got a couple of flies in the docket moving forward. Hold on. I did not just yawn. Don't worry. I'm okay. So Sam said he tied the muddler for the first time the other day, and you really didn't like it. I'm a big fan of the muddler. It's a little bit of practice on the spinning, and bonus right here. This is what I just picked up not too long ago. It's the Stefano. It's the razor blade holder. Right, we got that going. And we got the fugly packer. But we don't need to pack too much. So I think... Oh, man. Alright, stand by. Next week, we're going to either do the muddler... You know what? We're going to do the muddler. We'll save the hoppers. Because in order for everybody else to tie the hoppers, you have to have the kit. You have to have the little bits and parts. So we're going to do some muddlers. Yeah, buddy. It's going to be awesome. Well, what do we say? We got 7:30. Let's tie maybe one or two more. And then... Yeah, I think we're going to do one more. I think I'm going to wrap... I don't know. The headphones are giving me a headache. So... We'll slide over. We'll tie one more. At least. One or two more. How many chartreuse ones do I got? I got 2 chartreuse and 3 tans. Carry the 7. That means we need to tie at least one more. Alright. Huzzah. Here we go. Yeah. Muddler minnows next week. Which means I have to clean off my bench. It is, as they refer to in the biz, a hot mess. Let's get our hook out. Yeah, we'll do one more chartreuse one. And wouldn't you know, got just enough foam out for that. Can I give you a good list of items for a muddler minnow? Like as far as like a recipe? I would have to have it in front of me in order to give you an exact recipe. But you're going to need some deer hair, some marabou. I'm probably going to use something like this for the body, a flat French tinsel. You could also maybe do something like that. I might have, and I can't check right now. Maybe I can. Hold on, we're gonna switch back over to here while I look. That way you can look at me instead of just, I might actually have a video. I mean, there's tons of videos and recipes, but how I'm gonna tie it exactly, I don't know. Yeah, see, right now all my bandwidth is being used up by the live stream. I can't look up how I tied it or how I tie it. So, I don't know. We'll go back to the bench. I just used what I had, and that's, you know, I guess, okay, so I guess for the deer hair, before we jump too far, you're going to be looking for deer body hair. You don't want to use a bucktail for spinning. You want a deer body hair that's specific for, not specific for it, but it's more suited for spinning. And the thing is it's really not even that much spinning, because the first one, I guess, I don't know. It's up to you how you want to trim it. All right, where am I? Put my thread onto the hook. But no, absolutely. Using what you have is better than not doing anything at all. I would rather it be the most terrible variation of it than just absolutely nothing. Right there to the end. Alright, take off the corners. That's good enough for me. And I guess another thing about tying flies is we have to stop stressing so much about making it look like what the picture is. You know, if you have a picture or something in front of you, you know, you might be trying to exact replicate what you have in front of you. When it's not so much the exact replication of things, it's getting the kind of the implication of it, the gist of it. For me, at least. You do you and I'll do me. And that's the thing is, you know, how I tie a fly is how I tie it. It is by no means the only way to tie it. And I'm not saying it's the best way in general or overall, but it is what works for me. Right here, right now, today. Catch me tomorrow, it might be something different. You never know. Dang it. I think these rubber legs are a little old. This is, I don't know if this is from, I guess this is the actual product bag. These are Orbs silly legs. I thought it was just a random bag. I try to keep most of my material in its original packaging. Just makes things easier to identify, but sometimes things don't stay in their original packaging, do they? Boy. That'll work. Alright, let's add a little dab of head cement. A little secret sauce. That's right, some Sally Hansen's. Advance our thread and capture the inners. Advance the thread. Do it one more time. Ooh. And right behind the eye. I'm going to do a little bit of trimming up there. What do you think? Alright, so as we wrap up here, I want everybody to take a minute and think of something that, I don't know, my brain is fried. And we'll put a little hat on, and it'll be good. just fine. Yeah. Same with the legs, guys and gals. If you are missing a leg, throw the fly away. It'll never catch a fish. False. Just kidding. If your fly's missing a leg, it'll work. It'll be fantastic even. And with these, imagination is your only limitation. I will definitely be going back with some super glue and adding a little dab, a little run. Let's go ahead and give it a try. I want to experiment because I really don't think that UV resin would be perfect for this. I think what you want is some actual stuff to penetrate and work with the foam. You know, how well is this going to keep it from rotating and sliding around? We'll see. Because it's not a matter of letting it soak in. It's a matter of... And there you have it. I think that's going to be fantastic. That might be one of my favorite ones all night. Just wish I could have got those legs to just come out a little bit better, but we will be fine. Alright, let's go ahead and I'll go like that. Alright, so there we have it. Next week we're going to work on muddler minnows. And I'm going to be following a standard recipe as far as the muddler. What it exactly is, I can't say right now off the top of my head. I'll have to look up and find what I have laying around. What would be best suited for a muddler. It was really good fishing it today. I was using a sink tip line, 8 weight, and before it got super saturated with water, when I first started casting it out, I'd get a nice plop presentation, a nice smack, and if I started stripping the line right away, I could get some good pulses of the minnow on top. And then once the sink tip really started to sink, the fly would start working its way down. Now what I could do is I could just sit there with, especially with that sink tip line, You know, I can give it a couple of strips right away on surface to see if it wants to attract anybody's attention. And then I'll give it a slow retrieve. I'll give it a slow retrieve, and the minnow will slowly sink. And depending on how fast I start retrieving, it controls the depth of the fly. Even though it's kind of backwards and counterintuitive, throwing a surface minnow quasi dry fly. Oh, it's a minnow. It can't be a dry fly. But with all the deer hair up front, it keeps it up a little bit. So I don't know. But that's enough about that. We'll talk about that next week. Next week, where are we at? It'll be July 22nd. Did I show you guys my calendar yet? And it's all in a Rushki. Good stuff. All right. Well, I'll give it a few minutes here. Questions, comments, concerns. Otherwise, we're going to look forward to next week. Same bat time, same bat channel here for Project Healing Waters. Be sure to join me on Mondays. I do this Monday mornings again for about an hour or so. Not super long, because guess what I like to do Monday morning sometimes? Go fishing. And a little preview into what we might be doing on Monday is I just picked up this thing. Check this out. It is, I'll go to this side. It is the fly tool. And what this is, it's a hair. This is going to be hair stacking. So we got bass, trout, and then pike and muskie. So it's got different diameters for packing hair, for getting the flare on. So these just came out, brand new, made in Minnesota. Check them out, Fly Tool. Minnesota Fly Tool MN, I believe, is their Instagram handle. But we're gonna give those a try soon. We'll get our Chernobyl back in there, and we're gonna wrap it up. So thank you all for tuning in. We're gonna go to the wind down sequence, and yeah, that'll be that. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, everybody. Regardless as to what everybody else is doing, you know, do what's right for you, and be kind and considerate of others. And that's what really is important, because we are an extension of ourselves, and how we treat others, and how we treat our pets, and how we treat our fish that we catch. It's a great reflection of who you are as a person. You know, be kind, rewind. It's that type of thing. All right, everybody. It was fun hanging out. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll give you that, what do you call it? The mandatory like, follow, subscribe. Like this video, guys and gals. I appreciate it. If you get bored throughout the week, check out some of my videos. Leave a comment if you have any questions. It's fun. It's fine. We're having fun. All right. Thank you all. Have a good night. Happy time. Tight lines.